Explaining that to young people now, they'd be like, excuse me?
What about a smoking section on an airplane? I mean,
On an airplane?
you're sitting in a tube.
Really?
I know that's a thing, but that still seems crazy to me because that was obviously not a part of my time, I don't think. Interesting.
So people wouldn't take the short flights because they couldn't go without a cigarette that long.
I'm trying to think back. So when I first started working, my first job was at a bowling alley. / bar, and there was definitely still smoking allowed. And it's just crazy because like smoking also didn't have the stigma that it did back then because it wasn't unprofessional. Like we were allowed to just smoke a cigarette at our post behind the bowling counter, like, hi, what can I get for you? What size shoes?
Behind the counter?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and like it wasn't like a gross thing. I mean, looking back on it now, like that's so unprofessional. I like cringe thinking about it. But yeah, that was, I mean, they didn't like me doing it because I was not 18, so I was told, go somewhere else if you're going to do that. Go take a break somewhere because you're not a grown up yet. And I had no business smoking cigarettes back then. But the thought of that, like if I walked up to any counter for anything now, and the person was just sitting there smoking, I'd be like, where the heck am I? When the heck am I? Where was I sent back to?
So, interesting story. So, Susie Schmidt, do you know Susie Schmidt?
I don't.
Yeah, okay, Susie Schmidt. Dan, you know Susie Schmidt.
I know Susie.
Susie, former state senator. She was a former county board member and the county board chair.
Oh, okay.
She was the county board chair before county board chairs were cool. And just joking. But her gift to me when I got elected on the county board was the county board ashtray. That every one of them had on their desks. During the county board meetings, they would light up and smoke.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that weird just to think about?
That is weird. I remember when the rules changed, too. I think it was 2000. It was New Year's Eve is when the last night it was allowed. And I think it was 2006 or 7 or 8, something like that. I don't remember. When you guys remember what year it changed?
I don't remember the year, but I do remember it was actually more transitional because remember originally
Chicago when they moved out.
They more municipalities approved it before it was statewide, and then they had restaurants could still have smoking sections and non-smoking sections. And I think the last ones to go were the bars.
Yes. So I was living down at U of I at the time, and down there it had already been passed, so there was already no smoking indoors.